Well, folks, coming in from the wrapping up of a great weekend, hanging out. We're doing some car camping, but we've used both of the tents that I'm referring to in this video, and the one in particular that you saw in the title, the Salida one from Kelty. In this video, I've used it backpacking, car camping, and have really enjoyed what this thing can do for me. And really, the Salida series that Kelty is producing, I believe, is like the best budget backpacking tents that I've yet to use. I mean, they're capable. They come in at under 5 pounds for either one. We're going to talk through all the specs today, and they're compact, and they come in at under $150. So you're able to get a lightweight, compact backpacking style tent, but you're not going to break the bank. And I've used the Salida 2 for about 4 or 5 years now, and now the Salida 1 for about a year, and love them both. Just depends on the capabilities that you're looking for. All right, so here is the Salida 1 in its packaging. Now, it's kind of more of like a brick packaging, and I wanted to give you a Nalgene here as kind of a reference point. It's about as deep as a Nalgene, and then it's about 3 Nalgenes high. So just to kind of give you a little bit of a perspective there. It's a little bit of different setup than those long tubular setups. I'm not sold on this layout versus it, coming in a more narrow stuff sack. You could do that obviously if you want to, or obviously it comes this way. Now, just to hit some of the basic specs with you, it is a 3-season tent, which basically means it's just not really designed for winter use. The really cold temperatures, snow, it's more of a breathable setup, and that's how it's designed. Now, it's cool that it has this entire layout right here, so we're gonna zoom in and just kind of talk through its overall specs as we're running in some footage along the way. So I just wanna kind of show it to you. Hopefully it's gonna show up on frame here pretty well. The height is 3 feet 2 inches, so I, being 6'2", can easily sit up in it, which is nice. And get my clothes changed. If you can't sit up and get your clothes changed very well in a tent, particularly when it's either wet out or it's just really cold, it kind of sucks. So it's nice that you can sit up and get a good peek there. Now, it's designed kind of in a coffin setup, if that makes sense. So it's wider near the shoulders and by your head, and tapers down to a narrower footprint down below, again, helping to cut down on weight and all of those type of things. So the maximum width at the top of your head is going to be 3 feet 3 inches. So that's kind of where my dog hung out and spent his time. We did have my dog Tommy with us, and that has enough room easily. Then it tapers down to 2 feet 5 inches, so it almost cuts down a foot near your foot box there, so just keep that in consideration with its layout. And it's 7 feet 2 inches long, so it's going to fit any human being of natural normal size. And then you are going to get a 1 foot 10 inch vestibule out the side. I can easily get like one backpack in there. Again, this is a one-man tent. You're not going to get 2 backpacks in there, but a full size, like 70, 60 liter pack will easily fit in that vestibule, as well as your shoes, and you're not going to have them get wet over the rain cover. It does come with a rain cover that's really well done. We had heavy rain on this camping trip that you're seeing, and zero, problems with it seeping through or anything like that, and not a lot of condensation because of the level of mesh that they do. Now, the weight on this thing, the minimum weight, that means like cut down, no bag, you're maybe not doing the stakes, that type of thing. It's going to be 3 pounds 6 ounces full trail packed weight. That means everything in the bag is 3 pounds 14 ounces, which is really lightweight compared to most other backpacking tents, particularly at the cost. And I want to hit the cost with you as I'm rolling in some footage of us putting it up. Super easy to put it up. You can put up like in 5 minutes. Very quick. Good aluminum cross runners, for the frame, and then the tent poles, and then great Y aluminum stakes as well. They didn't cut corners anywhere on this tent. And for $108, I don't know of another tent that's going to give you this lightweight a setup with this many options and capabilities at that price. Now, you can get close, or you can even maybe cut down a couple ounces for like $200, $300, absolutely. But for this price point of just over $100, and we will have links over to Amazon. That's a great way to help support the channel. When you guys use those links, we're going to have them not only for the Salida 1, the Salida 2, and a couple other backpacking style tents that I've either used or looked at that I think are well worth a look. But for this, it's a great budget backpacker option, small, lightweight, compact, and comes in at under or just over the $100 price point. Now, just one last thing to think about, the Salida 2 that I have a previous review on, and I'll try and put a link in the description below for that. is just the slightly bigger version. It absolutely can handle 2 people, including my dog. So my wife and I and my dog have slept in it. It is going to obviously weigh more. It's going to be, I think, about a pound more, maybe like a pound and a half more, but that's only going to be $118. We'll have a link over to Amazon for that as well. So for an extra $10, you can get a whole nother person as well as just more space to move around. So just keep that in consideration as well. What is the better thing for you? If you are wanting a one-man, lightweight, as light as possible, obviously the Salida 1. If you don't really care about the weight, or maybe you're willing to sacrifice that for just a few dollars more for more space, or for 2 people, maybe it's you and your son or daughter, maybe it's you and your spouse, the Salida 2 is also a fantastic option as well. So I just want to do a walk around with you, and we do have a lot of dirt bike activity near us at this campsite. It's Friday night, so they're all coming out now. Just wanted to kind of walk you through this just so you can see. And this was for me and my 50-pound dog, Tommy, the trail dog. He's a Border Collie Springer Spaniel mix. It was a little tight, but he and I could easily fit in there, and he wasn't, if you have a dog that's pretty calm, it's going to be just fine. But it is a freestanding tent, which is awesome as well. It's always best when you can mount these things and, stake them in. But if you had to, this would be able to, as long as there wasn't like huge gusts of wind, be able to hang out. What we have here is, a 2-run door here with 2 zippers. They are a little bit, the seams do seem a little cheap, but I've never had, particularly with my Salida 2 for like 4 years, them ever, bind up or jam up on me or anything like that. And there is the little loop, so you can, zip this open, and if you needed to, and you're not really worried about bugs, you can roll it up and stash it off to the corner so you can get in and out very easily. But you can see lots of mesh, which is good, very breathable system, nice attachment points along the top here. And, you're going to get enough room for like one person and again, like a 50-pound dog. You don't try to get yourself and like your son in here or your daughter, and like do some, family camping that way. You're going to regret it. So you do have these 2 little tiny stash pockets here on these corners, which is nice. You can get like a cell phone, a headlamp, something like that. That's about it in there. And then down at the bottom end, you're not going to really get anything in there. Now I can easily sit up in the tent, which is nice. So when changing clothes, it's really important. And then they do have also Kelty's ability to put one of their little attics. They call it like their mesh attic. Now I wish it would have come standard with it. It's like an extra $20, but there are these little hooks here. I've obviously run, a lantern so that I can see at night in there, but there is that option so you can have a little mesh basket up here to throw some of your gear if you want to. But for me being 6'2" and being able to sit up in this and change my clothes was a huge bonus. So there you have it, folks. I want to thank you for coming over today, checking out the Salida 1. And if you're person with either a small dog or just yourself, I think you're going to totally dig it when you're on a budget and you want that lightweight backpacker, capable tent. I think you're going to get a lot of use out of it in a lot of years, just like we have, not only with this one, but the Salida 2. And that's a great one for a 2-man system. And my wife and I were able to sleep in there with our dog as well without too much difficulty. So the Salida 2 would just be the upgrade if you want to go a little bit bigger. But both great tents that Kelty has been producing for years. And, I can't recommend these systems, both the Salida 1 and 2, enough. So thank you guys so much for coming over today, checking out the channel. Please subscribe, comment, like, share this video. Any questions you have, I'll answer in the comments below. Check us out on all the relevant social media as well. It's a great way to see what's up and coming. And always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. We'll see you out there.